if you can wrap the market up for us yesterday, I think a big takeaway for me was the fact that we continue to see heavy trading, over 6 billion naira worth of trades.
Yeah, as you rightly mentioned, we witnessed a lot of trading in the market yesterday. The market was very, very active with volume increased by 74% compared to the previous day. We saw a lot of trading in, especially the banking sector, ATI, Diamond Bank trading huge volumes. Value was up as well yesterday by close to 30%, and this shows that there's a lot of activity and confidence restored in the Nigerian market. And we've seen a lot of investors creeping into the market, especially the local and the retail end. Though we saw the ASI lose points yesterday, it was down 35 basis points, and this could be linked to decline we saw in Dangote Cement and the New Gold ETF. All in all, we've actually seen a very, very impressive participation from investors, both foreign and local, in Nigerian market, and we could actually attribute this to investors coming to take a piece of the pie, the good pie coming from corporates, because the anticipation that most corporates will post good full year numbers for 2012, and most investors are actually positioning themselves ahead of their result coming out and benefiting from the expected dividends from such companies.
All right, you mentioned some investors coming to take their share of the pie. If you're looking at companies that I really want us to focus on today, likes of Diamond Bank, FCMB, Fidelity Bank. Diamond Bank alone is up over 180% over the last 1 year. So clearly some people that didn't get in a year ago have missed out significantly. But clearly there's also still that an opportunity for further rise in many of these shares. I want to talk about the speculative opportunities that you see in the market today.
Yeah, as you rightly mentioned, Diamond Bank, we've seen Diamond Bank gain over 100% year, over looking at a 1 year span, and year to date it's been up over 30%. We've seen a lot of volatility in Diamond Bank, trading as high as 690 this year and coming down to 6. It's been quite volatile, and I believe there's a lot of speculative profit that can be made from Diamond Bank. The expectation is that we expect good numbers, Diamond Bank to post good numbers for their full 2012 full year result, and there's a strong believe that Diamond Bank will pay good dividend with a potential dividend yield in excess of 12%. So I guess Diamond Bank is a good stock to play with and still make profit in it, even at the level it reached. It closed at 6.50 over yesterday, and there's still room for growth in the stock.
Okay, elsewhere in the banking sector, FCMB, Fidelity Bank, your thoughts on those counters and the potential for dividend yields for investors looking at those stocks right now?
Yeah, even FCMB and Fidelity, we've seen FCMB year to date gain over 30%, and Fidelity has been up about 44% year to date. There's a lot of interest in them, and expectation from the market is that these two banks will also post tremendous numbers with dividend yield in excess of 12% for FCMB and 11% for Fidelity Bank. So we've seen investors actually positioning themselves to share out of the good pie expected from these corporates, and we still see room for potential growth in the share stock price. So there's still room for speculative profit in such stocks.
Idris, as well. I think the discussion around dividend yield is quite pertinent right now, especially when you look at where yields are in the fixed income space. Because if you invest in some high yielding stocks that will give you very good dividends, you don't only benefit from the dividend, but of course any further capital acquisition going forward. So I think that's a very important theme in this season. And in the context of that, your thoughts about how far this market can go in the next 2 months?
Yeah, because the expectation of this, we've seen a lot of expectation, especially from the market, that most of these banks should pay dividend this year because most banks are expected to post good numbers, and this is actually one of the key drivers in our market today. And looking at where the fixed interest rate is, the expectation is that most of these banks will surpass the fixed interest rates in the fixed income space, and we've actually seen this drive the market tremendously this year, and we expect this to continue to push the market on a positive note. So all in all, with all these factors, we expect the market to do well this year going forward.
Okay, let's step out of the banking space now and get your thoughts on Livestock Feeds. Livestock Feeds, of course, is a company that UAC has its eye on. They announced an MOU to acquire a controlling stake in that company last year. Since then, we've seen the share price rally significantly. Over the last 1 year, it's up over 160%. This year, it's up over 20%. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, the interest of USAN in livestock has actually boosted interest in livestock in the market, and we actually see the stock rally, as you rightly mentioned, that it's been gained over 100%, and we still see continued interest in the stock because the belief is that livestock fields should do well, and with USAN buying into them and signing an MOU with them, we expect them to improve their efficiency and productivity, and as well boost their earnings at the end of the day, which will translate to positive returns for shareholders. So we've seen more people trying to get on board livestock, and we expect the positive trend to continue for livestock as well as it affects the market too.